If you're a US citizen and you live abroad with your spouse, you don't have to move here first to the US to then petition for your spouse to get a green card if you don't want to be apart. Let's say that you're a US citizen and you live abroad with your spouse and you don't want to be apart, but you do both want to permanently move to the US. So what it could look like is you would file a petition for your spouse. That kickstarts off the process of eventually having your spouse get the immigrant visa to then immigrate to the US permanently. So in that scenario, you can file the petition while you're both living abroad, and then USCIS will eventually approve the petition assuming that everything is good. And then what will happen is your spouse will interview at the US consulate. Now, in order for this to work, you do have to show immigration that essentially you are either going to move to the US prior to your spouse immigrating to the US, or you and your spouse will leave at the same time. What that means is that let's say that it gets to the US consulate stage where your spouse is interviewing. At that point, your spouse, assuming that everything is good, will get an immigrant visa in their passport, which will allow them to come to the US and enter, and essentially they will get their green card mailed to them in the US. So you have to come at the same time as your spouse. You cannot come after your spouse. So just know that if you're in this situation, you and your spouse can stay together the entire time, and then once your spouse gets that immigrant visa, you two can then come together to the US. If you'd like to talk to me about your immigration situation, you can schedule a consultation through the link in my bio or by calling my office, and that information is also in my bio.